Hey, this is Seth with Electrek, and today we've got something pretty special for you, or it was pretty special for me. We got to go to Puerto Rico, and we saw Lift's new products, which are efoil surfboards. We saw the Lift5, and we saw the LiftX. These are two pretty special boards, and here's why. Lift's new Lift5 and LiftX electric foil surfboards rip over water easily. I've looked on in awe at how foil wings are changing the way watercraft operate. Foils are now used to make water transport from surfing to boating and everything in between more efficient, smooth, and fun. Foils aren't necessarily a new technology. I remember taking a hydrofoil passenger ferry from Hong Kong to Macau every few weeks when I lived in Asia in the 90s. By knifing through the water rather than riding on top of it, the foils are much more efficient and also, as a byproduct, are much smoother, meaning no seasickness. How does that translate to the latest efoil surf technology from Lift Surfboards? The company flew me out to Puerto Rico to find out. As a background, Lift is a Puerto Rican-based manufacturer of foil surfboards and electric foil or efoil surfboards. From my snowboarding expertise, they're kind of like Burton was in the 90s in that they are pushing the industry forward, not just by innovation in the recreational space and making it easier, but also they're pushing the professional level. They're getting more people out. They're doing a lot of evangelism. The Lift5 board is a huge step in the development of efoil surfboards, making the setup and riding extremely quick operation. Instead of a complicated mess of wiring hookups and assembly, the Lift5 2.2 kilowatt hour battery, which is smaller, there's smaller and less expensive batteries will be offered as well, just snaps in. It's the same with the the mast and the electric foil wing. A few quick snaps and the board is together. So that's important because it brings the setup time down quite a bit and makes it a lot simpler so that when you're on the sand or right at the edge of the water, you can quickly assemble the board, and it makes the whole process, the whole experience a lot easier. So, that's something else to consider. These electric surfboards can take the place of the much bigger, noisier, petroleum-powered jet skis for many uses. At 30 mile per hour top speed, these can be used for around an hour and can fit in the trunk of a car rather than in a trailer, which needs a boat dock. So it's a true game changer in the world of personal water transportation. Think about it. You can have one of these in the trunk of your car just waiting. If you have a few hours after work, just head over to the beach or to the lake and just jump in the water for an hour versus having to have, your Sea-Doos or whatever on the trailer or stored somewhere. Then consider the specialized inflatable blowfish accessory that not only makes training on a Lift efoil easier, but also opens up the platform for specialized activities like fishing, diving, and multiple passenger travel. What's great is that once you are on the foil, the inflatable ring is out of the water and only affects the efficiency of travel slightly. Otherwise, it can operate like a little dinghy boat and can be used to bring people back and forth from shore to bigger boats docked out at sea. Versatility is key here. So the Lift5 represents a complete reimagining of efoil technology built from the ground up to enhance performance, user experience, and reliability. With a focus on surf-inspired innovation, Lift5 introduces an all-new design, which is lighter, streamlined board featuring a double concave bottom for smooth touchdowns and sharper sheen rails for crisp transitions, a simplified setup, tool-free assembly with Lift Connect system for effortless attachment of wings, mast, and propulsion, enhanced user experience, wireless connectivity, one-touch startup, and redesigned accessories like ergonomic board bags and a battery backpack, and unmatched safety, a robust double-walled battery with real-time monitoring, tilt detection, and water ingress prevention for maximum reliability. The Lift5 is not just a progression, it's a revolution. We have taken everything we've learned over the years of engineering, testing, riding, and built the most refined efoil yet, says Nick Leeson, co-founder and CEO of Lift Foils. The Lift5 is not only the quietest efoil available, but it's the first of its kind to come standard with a click-in battery, toolless and wireless assembly, and touch-free integrated inline cooling, an evolution of the liquid cooling technology we first introduced with the world's first commercially available efoil. LiftX. So there's one more thing in this announcement, and with a nod to Apple's naming, Lift also introduced LiftX, which is a lighter, more professional board with a key component, which is a retractable propeller that allows the rider to go from an electric propulsion to wave or wind or pumping propulsion seamlessly, and then of course back to electric. It is a true hybrid board. So let me tell you a little bit about my Liftfoil surfing experience. As a background, I've never hydrofoiled in my life outside of the aforementioned boats in Hong Kong. I've done some very basic surfing and skateboarding in my past, and I'm an avid snowboarder. Lift first let us try out the Lift4 boards, the previous generation Lift4 boards, on a river with very little waves. Initially, they were outfitted with the blowfish attachment, which made the learning process more fun. Getting up on the board was super easy for my 50-year-old body, and I was standing on the Lift4 within minutes. From there, I experimented with the speed controls that go from 0 to 15. At about 6 or 7, my 200-pound body would start to lift the board out of the water and start to foil. That experience is incredible. The bumping of the waves and the sound disappears almost entirely. Interestingly, because the foil is so much more efficient, once you get out of the water, you not only speed up considerably, but you also require a lot less power to go for the same speed. I was told that foiling takes half the energy of just cruising like the traditional board, and why you can ride on foils for so much longer than an electric surfboard or boat. Foiling did take some getting used to, but I did get up and stay up for quite some time on the river. The next day, we went onto the ocean and tried the new Lift5 boards, and without the blowfish attachment. There was a steeper learning curve here to get used to the changing dynamics. That said, I was able to get foiling within an hour of jumping on the Lift5. The challenge for me wasn't turning necessarily, but keeping the board flat on the water. Too much forward leaning, and you'd push the front of the board into the water. Leaning back too much, and the foil pops out of the water in front of you. A little time is all one needs to figure out these dynamics. I never got 100% stable in the 2 hours of training over the 2 days, but I was very close. I will say this, I really wanted to play on these more and more as our time ended. The foiling experience compared to riding on the waves is singular, and I would say akin to the experience in sailing when you turn off the motors and just begin using wind power. It's magical. So what's my overall take? What an experience. Lift's whole vibe of being a proud Puerto Rican company building and developing their industry-leading products on the island just feels so right. The fact that the company is pushing this nascent industry forward is huge. And the Lift5 and LiftX represent a huge innovation in the efoil industry, and coupled with accessories like the blowfish, leading-edge controllers, snap-together assembly, long-range integrated batteries, etc., will make this the next big leap in the efoil surfboard industry.